All right, well, welcome back for another episode in our AMG Academy. This is our AEP Spirit Week series where we've been, meeting up with different national reps for all the different carriers that we work with. This week we actually have Ray Burr with Wellcare here. One thing I want to add before we jump into everything, if you're enjoying the series, if you're liking the content, feel free to share, comment, like, subscribe, the usual things there. But let's just jump into it, Ray.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I've been in the insurance industry since 2000.
Okay.
My son was born in '98, so at that point I figured I needed to you need to move in the right direction there to support a newborn. So been in sales a good bit of my life, and then I found a happy home in the insurance industry in 2000. I started out on the life insurance side and learned a lot, and then quickly moved into the Medicare Advantage space, Medicare supplement, and then a Medicare Advantage. Moving forward from there.
So what do you enjoy about working with Wellcare?
I would say the partnerships externally with our agency partners is a huge bonus. You really have friends in the industry. The Medicare Advantage space is a real small world, so there's folks you might have worked with for quite a long time, and I've had the pleasure of working with your FMO / Amerilife for a number of years, from the first moment that I stepped into Medicare Advantage, the industry from a management standpoint, as well as the internal relationships that you develop on the carrier side. So you really have relationships that you might carry through the rest of your life there. People change, people come and go, but it definitely have some lifelong friends that have been developed on both sides of the fence, whether it be internally or with our external distribution partners like Amerilife.
For sure. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I can't believe we're already this deep into AEP. What are we, just about to hit Thanksgiving here now?
It's halftime, right?
Exactly.
It's
I think, maybe 4 weeks left before we're closing out the season?
This whole year has flown by, but AEP has been light speed. Yeah, absolutely.
So how are you feeling so far with Wellcare's success? How do you feel about where you guys are at?
Good. I think a lot was made as ramp up seems to happen earlier and earlier every year as we go into AEP. And as we were ramping up to the current AEP, it seemed a lot of noise was surrounding our star scores. So we did have some challenged areas, but that's already is being addressed, has been as we move forward. I feel that people are going to be really happy with the direction we're already on, plus where we're going to be a year from now when it comes to the next time that we're releasing star scores. So we're the right direction there. So I think that's been the biggest thing I've noticed so far.
And then would you say, as far as Wellcare's focus for this AEP, I know you said, the star scores, are there anything else that you'd want to highlight that Wellcare has really been changing for this AEP for 2024?
I would say the biggest thing on the product side is of course, we've been focused on the DSNP, DSNP market.
Yes.
PDP speaks for itself. I get the question all the time, is that commissionable? Is that PDP product? Is it commissionable?
Right.
Yes, it is. And our DSNP focus as well. Is a year-round play, of course, but it's definitely been the forefront as far as when you look at our products. The DSNP piece, the partnership with Mutual of Omaha is also that is year one, so that's just going to continue to grow. It's already been very positive for everyone, and it's only going to continue to improve as we move forward with that relationship.
Right. No, 100%.
Yeah.
And now, are there different hotspots that you think agents should be focusing on right now inside of maybe the mutual side or across, nationwide with Wellcare? I
think the PPOs with the Mutual Omaha side is certainly there's opportunity there for an agent. Brand recognition, et cetera, speaks for itself as well. But I'd say in those states, we got 5 markets that we could talk to that would focus on. South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, and then even states like Washington. We never hardly talk about. For me personally, being an East Coast guy, I don't talk a lot about Washington State, but they're in that footprint as well.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. And now, I know you're able to see kind of the big picture on some of the numbers as well and able to see where the apps are flowing in.
Sure.
Are there some markets that you say are maybe underperforming, or some markets where you think, we could really see some growth in right now that we're not, kind of hitting the numbers on as we speak?
Well, speaking with Amerilife, in that terminology, I would say that California for us is a top 3 state nationally with all our channels. I say that might be a state that you guys could finish very strong in as an organization, as an agency.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't understand that when it comes to California, they have unlimited dental. They also have Delta Dental, and if you know anything about insurance, dentists don't like to take a lot of insurances. They just don't. But they seem to like Delta Dental pretty good.
Right.
So we have Delta Dental as our vendor on the dental side, as well as we've also got the coordination with the CAID aspect of in California. So that's also a year-round play, not just to mention AEP moving into OEP and moving forward.
Exactly.
You're talking about a lot of opportunity there to help some folks with unlimited dental, as well as the coordination that's already in play with California. So if I had to call out a state I think you could finish very strong in and move that up on Amerilife's list, I would definitely say California.
All right.
Yeah.
California agents, you heard it here first.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so just also want to touch base on maybe some of the product changes for 2024 as well.
Yeah.
You know, just looking at some of the product lines and some of the benefits, it seems like you guys are doing a lot, like you said, on the DSNP side. But
Yes.
on the benefits side, are there some changes there that, you know, you'd make sure you want to highlight?
I would definitely, there's been a lot of focus on DSNP, so I have to call that out when I talk about our spendables card. In the past, we were the trendsetters on what we called the flex card. And then we moved into, now we have the spendables, and really on the DSNP side. So that's been a very, very strong addition for us because it's just giving more power to the beneficiary, the member. It allows them to take that card, one card, and use that out here as they're shopping. They could even do things like pay at the pump, get gas with that card, and things of that nature. It's got a rollover feature, so it's not use it and lose it. So there's a lot to talk about there that is extremely beneficial for that Wellcare member if they're on a plan that has the spendables. So in the DSNP market is a heavy push, and I think that's just needless to say, anyone likes to have a card that you can use out here as you're shopping. With a spendables card, I think the basics are you're allowing the consumer to have more opportunities out here. It's not just all structured to mail order and things like that. It's something you use out here when you're shopping, grocery shopping, etc. And also the pay at the pump feature, where they can literally get gas as they're out here shopping. Stop and use the card and pay at the pump. So
Right. No, I mean, heck,
what's not to like about that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then outside of that, I don't know if there's maybe any other golden nuggets out there that we haven't touched on, you know, anything that kind of crosses your mind that you want to make sure we do highlight here as well with 2024 coming up.
I think that when you look at our leadership, Sarah London all the way down, and you look at what the message is and where we are doing the heavy lifting, I think it's based on quality. I think we, in the past, and I'm speaking of the last several years, since the Wellcare acquisition became part of the Centene family, I think what you have to look at is a lot of people would say, Mr. and Miss Agent would say, hey, you're really good on paper. You look really good when I look at, we go out here and look up the plans, whether it be Sunfire, etc. You guys are great. You're great on paper, but I have so many issues on the back end with member services, broker services. So the member experience is we've already been headed that direction with the improvements we've made, bringing a lot of the support back in the States, not outsourcing when it comes to member services. And so that's been a huge plus, and we're headed that direction even more. We plan on being the easiest plan to work with, and that's going to have to dig a lot into quality. And if you have the quality, the quantity will certainly happen.
Exactly.
So we're very invested into the member experience and the broker experience as far as what we've done with our pilot programs, and the broker services experience overall has improved dramatically in a very short time.
Yeah, no, I think that makes complete sense, honestly. I think even as we work with independent brokers, we always find, you know, the more we can empower them just to really focus on, you know, doing the job with the client and not having to worry about some of the back office stuff, you know, just the easier it makes it for everybody.
And I think that we are showing that we are listening to our partners.
Exactly.
We have our ears open. We are listening to them, what their experience is, what the member experience is, what the broker experience is. And as we move forward, we have to be sure those are at the forefront, that in order for us to have the quality that we want to have and to be able to exceed expectations when it comes to growing into becoming the easiest plan to work with, you've got some growth steps there. Exactly. And so we're already investing heavily in that side of the market. So people can say, hey, you look great on paper, but also you're keeping the promises that the agent made up front about the Wellcare experience. We're going through the transitions when it comes to helping that member go from plan A, wherever they were before, as they transition into Wellcare. We're also holding that member's hand through that experience to be sure there's less confusion for the member out there as well as they transition off of their old plan, off their old PDP, what it may have happen, or maybe they had a MedSup and a standalone drug card as they transition to a Medicare Advantage plan for the first time. So we're making sure no matter where the member came from, when they're new to Wellcare, we walk them through that process to make sure their experience is very positive.
Perfect, perfect. In fact, that kind of segues me into my next question as well. When it comes to listening to the agencies out there, I know you've told me you've been traveling a ton this AEP. What have you been hearing from some of the agencies when it comes to Wellcare? What's some of the feedback that you've been getting out in the field?
I think that a lot of people were making such a big issue out of STAR scores, and that certainly is an important piece when you look at some of the areas have been challenged with their STAR scores, and then other states have had a higher score than maybe what was expected we were going to have. So we're headed the right direction when it comes to increasing our STAR scores in the future to be at 4 and above. So I think you're going to see that happen. The plane's already left the terminal. And we're already headed the right direction, and so you're only going to see the improvement happen there. So again, that's a huge investment when it comes to STAR scores. It's an ever-changing target. So I think what we're doing is investing heavily there, because the higher the STAR scores, the more opportunities you have as far as improving the overall product.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Sure.
Well, Ray, that's all I have here for you, man. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, until next time.